Alright.
Let's go.
Build a thrill demo review.
Throw in the decoy.
You go mid.
Throw in the flashbang.
Yep. Nice. No. Come to the. Oh, hold on. I wouldn't jump straight up there. If you come to the side here, you can get up without them seeing you. And then you can swing out into them faster instead of just jumping straight up and then they can see you get on the box. Just a little bit safer.
Flashbang.
Good angle.
Flashbang.
Good job falling back. We have full A control, so. Okay, spot them going to Z. Call it they're going to Z.
Smoke.
Yeah, you should be truck watching towards A here. You should be here watching so that Shrinky can spot the Z run out. Then you can still help him if he needs it. But you're still watching the cross to A because we have nobody left on A. Because Apu went yeet. This spot I don't like as much. I would probably stay truck or get into sight.
Smoke.
When you saw Joe come to top highway here, oh, I can draw, that's right. Because Joe came here, then he went here to fight. You could have either gone with him, or you could have come to check Z, where I was as well. So you could have joined up with me or with Joe. But just staying here doesn't do as much. So you just gotta pick one of us and follow us and stick together. We have the bomb. I wouldn't go sandbags here, I'd stay white box. Or I'd go into Z. Just because it gives you more options. You can help.
Counter-terrorists win.
Works out. Because if you go into Z there, at the end, because I'm here, fighting these guys, and we only know there's one here. So if you come here, and you're spotting all of this, and the bomb's right here, then I know I can't get flanked. And you're in a position where you can fall back once you take a fight, and we can come back and fight together. Instead of here, if he checks you, or if he sees you go in there, then it's just an easy kill, because I'm preoccupied with this guy. Smoke and HE. He'll smoke garage.
Laying down smoke. Fire in the hole.
Good smoke.
Throwing a grenade.
I wouldn't stand so far.
Flashbang.
I wouldn't stand so far in the open and throw your nade because it can boost at that point. And if they're just going fast over boost, they're just gonna shoot you when you have a nade out. So if you stand behind white box and just peek when you're ready. We have full locker control, so we don't need you really to lean to A. Ryan needs a little more help in mid. Here, we're calling that we're hearing lots of noise B.
Incendiary out.
Going over to B, that's good. Apu's go to get contact. He'll rotate back, you can go to truck. Truck is good. Apu should have fallen further back. It's okay if you stay A side here. Because Ryan just died in mid. And you were here. Me and Joe have full B, so we know they're probably going to go A or mid. So if you come into sight here, and you're standing here and Apu can come here, so that you can watch the highway cross so they can't get to Z. And then Apu can watch them run out A main. And then the only thing they can do is come through vent, but me and Joe will have that locked down, or we should. Stay A. Then I'm gonna fight them and you wouldn't get flanked. And fast forward. Ooh, that guy destroyed me. Anyway. Build the throw. You have smoke by flash. You have $200 by flash. Also, making buy keys will make it a lot faster.
Grenade out. Grenade out.
If you're that late, you don't. Oh, let me pause this. Clear. Yes. If you like spawn back here, and Ryan spawns up here, you should be coming this way to come to white box. Because if you peek this, like if you run here late, there's a chance they could be on boost, and there's a chance they could just shoot you through the smoke. So this is just a lot safer, and Ryan can come and throw the smoke and then play around Z, or push up like he did. It takes you a little bit longer, but it's a lot safer, and a lot more. And then because if you're coming down here, you can hear it if they're doing an A rush as well, so that you can just stop up and you're already right here watching the cross. So it just gives a little bit of extra support for your A guy on the fast takes, and your mid guy should be able to stay alive long enough for you to come all the way around here. I would have stayed closer to highway here. Just because he's crossing back and forth all the time isn't very safe. You never know when they just catch a timing on Ryan or something. This is a good spot. I would. What you could do here, as soon as you see those smokes coming, as soon as you see these smokes coming, what you want to do is you want to try and get on the inside of these. So you want to be here, so that Ryan can come here and deal with anyone who pushes through the smoke. Your job is to get here and help Apu as they're coming in this area here. And then Shrinky comes here. Me or Joe comes and picks up mid. And then, yeah. Yeah. So as soon as you see those smokes, it's best just to cross. And you don't have to walk so much. They know you're there. So like if you're in sight with Apu here, let's see what Apu sees. Yeah, because Apu's fighting them here. So if you were, oh, I have to play it. That's right. Oh. Oh, whatever. That's not gonna work. Anyway. If you were here, you'd be able to shoot them as Apu's shooting them, and it just gives us a more sure fight on A. Instead of just being here, where you're just blocked behind a smoke, not really doing much. You know? Don't something you could have done there instead of going so close. Because as soon as you go closer, it gives the angle. He gives him more of the advantage. So if you go deep in this corner, or if you sit right behind the forklift here, playing a headshot angle, then we can swing off your contact as well, and we can all peek off your contact. But if you're playing here, it's just very hard for us to play around it as well, as it gives just him a much more advantageous fight.
Grenade out.
See here, you're standing in the open. You're standing here kind of in the middle of no man's land. So if they did flash over, all they'd have to do is flash, and then they'd run through the smoke. And Ryan's blind, so he's gonna run over here, but you have nowhere to go. Because if you try to go back to Z, well, they're already gonna be out here. But Ryan's hiding behind the white box at the same time. So here's a very bad spot to be caught in, because you're just open to so many different things. And a good player should be able to kill you 9 times out of 10 here. Unless you have an op. But that's a different story. See, back up from the angle. See, because you're so close. If they were in this corner, they'd be able to see you before you saw them. So if you were deep in this corner, like over here, then you would be able to see them as they ran out, and they wouldn't be able to see you tucked in this corner. But as it is, they'll be able to see you in this corner, and you won't really be able to see them at all. So just play further back from the angle you're holding.
Incendiary.
Spray. That's one of the things, because Ryan mollied garage, and if Ryan's in this position, he has to be watching garage, because he can't, because if he's holding your boost, he can get shot at from garage before you see them. So he has to be the one holding garage, and you have to be back here holding boost. It just makes it a little bit, it's like your crosshairs in the right spot already, you don't have to think about it too much. But see, Apu's here waiting for the walkout. It's a good play. Nice. Well, standing in the open again. You want to try and get to white box as fast as possible. This is alright. I would probably back off a little more than this. See, this is what we were talking about before, where one of you guys wants to be, this is the line here. You need to have at least one of you guys inside this line at all times. And even here, I would say it'd be better if Big C was quad or here, so that you could play in sight and you could spot this cross so that they can't get to Z without you seeing them, but you're just playing so much further back. Because this is a very dangerous angle, because they can peek you from at the vent, or this guy can just swing around the white box and just kill you with one flash. It's a hard angle to hold if there's no one else in mid with you. So if you were back in sight with Big C, it would just be a little better.
Throwing smoke. Throwing smoke. Flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. Grenade out. Throwing fire. Grenade. Throwing fire.
Make sure you clear all the way into the corner, all the way in the corner. He was there for the whole round, right? If there's an opportunity for them to be there for 90% of the round, you always have to check it.
Laying down smoke.
Alright, smokes it. Cross.
Throwing smoke.
I stayed behind white box, let them just. I don't know.
I'm planted. Fire.
Should have hit that. I should have played it more passively. Felt a little overconfident, I guess. There's a little
Throwing
smoke.
grenade. Fire in the hole.
Just gotta work on the nades. Again, you're walking up the left side. Try to walk up the right side if possible. This is a very bad spot, because the guy on boost will always see you and always have a favorable fight against you. Here we have nobody in A side because Apu died early. So as soon as Apu died, you should be trying to get into sight. We just kind of got locked out of the sight. Here I'm waiting for Joe, because they don't know Joe's here. We're converging on the site together. They kill me. Joe almost gets him.
Laying down smoke. Throwing grenade. Smoke. I'm throwing fire. I'm throwing a flashback.
Here, not much. With pistols, you either gotta commit and go like walk fast up to the close mid, or stay far back. That kind of like half staying at white box and then starting to walk forward doesn't really work as much.
Throwing smoke. Throwing smoke.
We're on pistols again, so not that big of a deal. See, this spot's good. Swinging to help Ryan.
Flashbang.
Just gotta land the shots. Smoke, good early push. Start walking here. Nice. Perfect.
Incendiary.
Get deep in the corner.
Throwing fire.
Get deep in the corner. Always walk when you're close mid. Switch up inside is also good. Yep, sit deep. Nice job. We knew they were going A, so good job holding the flank. It's just, as soon as you kill that guy, you can be guaranteed that there's no one else there. So you can just rotate up highway.
Laying down smoke. Deploying. Throwing smoke. Firing. Laying down smoke.
Oh, I missed what happened. No. Zoom. Alright, you come out, smoke mid. Jump. You go sandbags, okay.
Deploying.
Hide.
Flashbang. Throwing smoke. I'm throwing a flashbang. Fire in the hole.
You don't want to be peeking from sandbags this late.
Down
That'll happen. And if you're playing mid solo, you want to play like Z or white box so that you can still get information. Because here you're sitting here and they could be like up here, so we can never come here to help you, because as soon as we come past here, they could be anywhere here. But if you're white box spotting this, then we at least know when they're coming out mid, instead of just having zero idea. Or if you're playing here, just jiggle peeking and spotting and telling us when they're coming out mid, because if you're here, you have no idea if they're walking out or not. And by waiting that long and then half peeking and then falling back, they will molly you 9 times out of 10, because this is a death trap as soon as they see you. So if you're here, you have to hide the whole time until they have their backs to you, in my opinion. Fast forward. Hey, your teammate.
Deploying flashbang. Laying down smoke.
Not too bad, but you still have Shrinky there, so you can lean off until Shrinky hears the door, and you can help him go in the middle. But until that door makes a sound, they can't come out, right? So there's no point in looking at a closed door while you still have a teammate deep in A and your teammate needs help in mid. Here. Oh, I should have rewound. Anyway, because Ryan had the bomb here for a while, so you were here. You probably should have run around to here and just to help Ryan, and then let me with the op come here and watch the flank, just so that you have 2 people holding the bomb as soon as possible. But you just want to make sure you're closer up as well. Fast forward. Pull out that smoke. Smoke it. You're solo mid. You had an okay spawn across. I'd be careful throwing that nade there, but it's all a timing thing. Don't go heaven in this situation. Whenever you're, I don't know what it is. Whenever you're the first person rotating to B, you always want to come to tree. Just because there's a big cross here that they have to run through. And yes, most of the time they do smoke it, but also a lot of times they do mess up their smoke. And from here you can molly headshot, because if your B player is still alive in sight, you just want to keep them alive as long as possible for your other players to get here. So coming heaven isn't really the best, because as soon as you peek, you're exposed to B main and the ramp and everything. Whereas tree, you can hold this cross so that your teammate, if he's hiding on site, you can spot them, and then he can swing and fight the guys that you spot as they're coming up onto site. But here, if you're here and you fight, he can't fight the guys B main, because there's guys under heaven running headshot on him. How to explain it properly? Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. Ran around through the smoke. Apu ran through the smoke.
Defusing the bomb.
It was an alright play. Unlucky timing. If you'd have walked up, it might have been a little bit easier on you, but your teammates were in, so you kind of had to go. It's all good.
Laying down
Yeah, so you can nade. Oh. You can nade garage from behind white box in complete safety. You just aim at the top of the you aim at the top of the white box and you just run through and it'll go into garage. Like at where the glass is. So that you never have to show yourself when they're throwing the nade. It's just a lot safer instead of that happening. See, now they could be out. If you get flashed off of something and there's a chance they came through, you have to take it like they definitely came through. If there's a chance, it's always a definite.
Incendiary out.
Zoom. Who's this? Joe in a 1v1. Oh. We're on pistols, right? Last round and a half. See, it's the last round and a half, so you have to buy here.
Deploying flashbang.
You should have bought here, but it is what it is. Sometimes we forget. Both your A players died, so here you should rotate A.
Flashbang.
You should just, as soon as your A players died there, you should have been just knife out to A. Trying to beat them into sight. But, ooh. T side's a lot harder to do a demo review on because we don't do much. I try. Don't stand still and fight. Always be going back and forth.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
Go to the left side here. It's okay. Don't go to site here. Because you have 3 people already in sight, and that's way too many. You were good here. I would just go here. So that you have a better angle on the vent guy, and you can't be seen from anyone who's flanking B main. But you have too many people inside here. This is a mistake. So either you have to be holding this vent guy, or you have to be the guy coming here and holding the B main guy. If you're the furthest guy back, you hold the biggest flank. Cause here, shit, get it. Nope, can't fall back in. Nope. You had to go forward there. Cause your teammates left the site, which is good. They don't have control over any of these choke points. So you have to go forward into safety.
Grenade out.
Hold M1. Swing around. And not much to say there.
Throwing smoke. Smoke. Grenade out. Grenade. Laying down smoke.
It's a little congested in B main with 3 people. So after you realize there was 2 of us here and we weren't going in, it'd be better to just rotate to either mid and help Joe, or come to A and help me out. It's just 3 people just kind of juggling around in here is never going to be good unless the enemy team throws. Or we go in as soon as we get there, kind of thing. Here you should have bomb. It's a 2v3. It's not like you're not going to go anywhere without the bomb and fake it. So you may as well just pick up the bomb. Right? There's no point in not having it at this point. Here, I don't run up the ramp. Never run up the ramp. Run up the headshot alley and then come and plant right here. Always plant right here. Because then Ryan can stay in checker and he can have a good angle on the bomb. And it's just a lot safer. It's a really safe plant here. And if you're running up the ramp, you can get shot from tree room and from heaven. Whereas if you're running up headshot and this is smoked, like, you can't really. Even if this is mollied, oftentimes there'll be people standing on a little ledge back here where the molly doesn't reach, and they're able to see you just before you get into sight. And it's just a lot safer to run through headshot. And if you're running up the ramp and we haven't cleared all of sight, then there's so many angles on either side of you that they could be at, instead of running up headshot where all the angles in sight are all the same way. Right? Walls. This is okay. Don't get scared.
Terrorists win. Smoke. Molotov.
Here? Oh, I can do that. No, I can't do that. I'll do it next time. Fast forwarding. Follow your teammates out mid. Good job. Teammates holding highway, you go back, get bomb. Go to B. Joe should have called that they could be heaven. Yes, in fact, he's going to clear it. He's saying, don't peek, don't peek. Boom. This is just Joe memeing and telling you where to plant it. I remember.
I'm throwing fire. Smoke.
This is a good spot. You don't have to peek here.
I'm throwing a grenade.
You can peek when your teammates get contact. That's a good angle to hold. You overswung out to the far side. If you had just peeked, if you just killed that guy and stayed exactly where you were, it'd have been just fine. But it worked out either way because you still had teammates working with you.
Smoke in the area.
Walking squeaky.
Grenade out.
Oh, you saw him catwalk?
Laying down smoke.
That's a very favorable fight for you. As soon as you see him catwalk, you should want to take that fight. Because now going back into the angle, he could have fallen off forklift, or he could have gone sidewalk. This is... oh, I can't show my cursor. The door, there's a very, very small spam angle that actually does damage. So I would not be worried about that until you're standing exactly where you are right now. This you can die from the spam. Anywhere to the right of here, you will not get hit by the spam. Like right here, you're perfectly fine. Just take the fight. You keep... see there, you're trying to tap. If you just peek and just hold them and spray, you may have won the fight. And it'd be a much different round for us mid guys as well. Whoa, come on, Sam.
Put up a smoke. Swing smoke. Throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke.
We're going B, so it's okay to have all of us here.
Throwing flashbang.
You should have just run up. Cause here, cause Joe was out here, and you guys were all still back over here. As soon as you see Joe going this way, you need to go out as well. The first and second guy stick together. The third guy goes into checker to clear anything, or he comes through the smoke if he needs to help them clear. But you should have gone with him through the smoke, and then left Apu or Shrinky to come out through checker. It was just, Joe was up here all by himself, and no one was past B main yet, so
Incendiary.
just gotta stay closer together.
Flashbang. Deploying flashbang.
Nice job. If Apu would have been in sight, what is it? If Apu would have been in sight with the op holding this, it'd have been better. Like if you were here. But either way, if you stay tucked in the corner, it's much better. Because then if Apu's holding this, and they run out to him, then right here you can see them. So you can kill them as they're fighting Apu still, and Apu is still safe. And the guy's running out of heaven. Because everyone from tree runs here and clears this angle. But it's very hard to clear this angle when there's somebody in sight. So if this guy's sight stays alive and just holds this angle and spots them, and then they're focused on him, so they come out here, and you're sitting in this corner and you shoot them in the side of the head. But it was very well done. It was a good round, but just little things. I'm probably just rambling at this point. Bro.
Flashbang.
Here. Oh, you see? Oh, I should have done it. You see where this guy is? That hidden guy? The blue line there with the deagle? If you go up against the yellow crate and spam, like just to the left of this white box here, and just practice your spray control on that little yellow patch, it will prevent them from pushing up mid without taking spam damage. Like they'll have to be off the wall, which makes them more exposed to boost. So if you just spam that angle, it'll stop them from being so aggressive in middle. Because here he was able to walk up completely for free.
Throwing flashbang.
He hit a nice shot. It's hard to say. You probably should have pushed further forward. But or have fallen back and be ready for the white box guy instead of looking for the garage guy. There you just kind of got caught up here looking this way while you were moving this way. But if you're moving this way, you should be looking this way, because this guy can't peek and kill you because you're moving behind cover. But if you're going this way, you want to be holding this guy, because this guy can't peek and kill you. So it's just, you just kind of got caught in the middle. Let's just pick one and go for it, essentially.
Grab your gear and let's go. Flashbang.
can't say much about this round. Go zoom. We're walking. Let me clear angles. Should have let me peek this first. But you should have let me peek the quad angle there. And after I peek that angle, then you can run out. Because then I'm holding for someone. Because if he would have swung, because he swung wide initially. And if I was holding that, then you could have just walked out. And you didn't need to run, you could have just walked. If I had taken the angle first, you could have walked longer. And it would have been harder for him to predict where to aim to kill you. Orca 1v3. Nah, it's not happening. Ah. Pistols. B-rush. Stick to Joe's ass. Don't let go. Keep going. He was blind. You just gotta keep going. No matter what. No matter how many guys you lose. Push forward.
Counter-terrorists win. Flashbang.
Because he was here. Spraying at this angle. And you were here. If you had, and you stopped here. And then you went back. If you had just kept going. You would have been like here by the time he was, while he was still killing your teammates. So then he would have panicked and tried to switch to you. And then everyone else would have just been able to cascade into the site. The site. Play. You have the 1 AK. Right? Just gotta play in a way that we can recover it if you die. Run. Yep, it's okay that you're holding this for Ryan as he's moving around the middle. It's good. We should have realized that they could push Squeaky. I'm not sure if we did or not. We're pretty disjointed at this point. Here, there's 3 of us, so Joe's walking away. You can stay if you want, and just help Apu make noise. Joe gets very unlucky. Don't peek this. You never want to peek this without some sort of grenade going over, because it's all too often they just have an op here holding this, an op here, an op here. So you have to use nades if you want to get out of garage. Never just dry peek it like that. It's just, it'll work like 1 time out of 10 if you're lucky. Or if the opponent's just bad, but always use nades to run out of choke points, especially when there's only 1 choke point per area. You gotta use nades. Nice. See, you didn't stop. We got the site. Look at that. Fell apart after that. We got the site. probably just about to go B. That's why we're all gathering up B main.
Incendiary out.
I'm waiting for Ryan to peek. As soon as I hear that nade coming, I know we have to go. Gotta hit your molly there, otherwise it blocks us.
I'm planted.
Here, I would go back checker. Because you were the last guy in, you were the last guy here, you should have been the one to come here and watch this big flank. Or you should have been the one to come into vent or into checker here and hold vent. Like, even if Joe is here, if Joe's here, having a guy back checker, it really helps Joe out a lot. And also, like, if Apu, where's Apu? Apu's there. We're 5v2. But, because if you're here, because right now we have no one watching the big flank. If this guy was faster, he'd be shooting you in the side of the head right now. He would have shot Apu in the side of the head as he was running out of sight. So if you're the last guy in, stay back. Like, you can stay forward until you know we have the sight and then fall back. But if you're coming in, if you're taking B as T's, you never want more than like the bomb carrier and another guy to run into the site. All the other guys should stay like on this half, on the checker side of this big opening. Just because it ensures a much better post plant if you're playing in these areas. Instead, because in sight, everyone just gets mollied off and instantly killed. But in this area, you can play off each other so well, and you can play for the bomb. I'm probably explaining things very badly right now. I'm tired. It is what it is. See, we recognized that we didn't have B main control, and Ryan went to take it. And it's pretty much round done. You're going with me to fight. It's good. Stick together. Bursting out mid. Jump holding the window while you're running up. You hear the guy in Z. You can walk through this. Well. You started shooting before you even saw him. The flash was unlucky, but you started shooting way too early. He had no idea you were there, and he wasn't going to see you anytime soon. So it would have been fine to wait a little bit. Just to make sure you come out of blind, and then you can start shooting. Fall back. Run. No, don't fall back. No. Here. This spot that he was playing up here is really good. It's a very, very powerful spot. If you're here and you peek and you're trying to run away and someone's here, your best bet probably is, if they start shooting you and you stay in this corner, is to swing close to the angle here and just do a super wide swing. Or like just jump across and like run super wide and jump and just hope you miss it, or not, like, yeah, and hope he misses a lot. But hope is never a good plan, so I prefer to just peek really close, because you know he's going to be like right on this corner So you just put your crosshair there. I just slide. I should do my own. Does that work? That didn't work. Why isn't that working? Here. Nope. Yep. 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 Might be better just see it in game as well.
Grab your gear and let's go.
Because he was up here. And he can see your feet no matter where you go. So he was, well, first he was holding here. And he saw you. So he was shooting here. And then he went to here. And he was shooting as you crossed. Because if you're here, you could see like none of him. So if you're here, and as soon as you recognize that he's on top of the hut, you get nice and close. And you wide swing. And you know he's going to be up on the corner of the hut, right? So you just come close, swing, and just have a spray battle. It's better than just, you know, running across and hoping. And you heard him jump down here, and you started spraying here. But because you were like 7 HP, it would have been better if you were just knife out, running away. Just trying to get some space and join your teammates. And then you can just call out that there's one close mid. Or if you hear him following you, you can hear the one fast B main, one fast flank, one chasing me, you know. Yeah. Here. The angle. If you're deep in the corner, you can kill them as they're running up here. So if Apu is here with the op, holding this angle, he takes a shot and then he holds back and plays this angle. He can't be seen from heaven. He's holding this. You're right here. You can see them. But here, you have to have somebody watching B main. Because you have to hold this. You have to have somebody either here or in sunroom. And then Joe was here that one round. Nice. Holding vent. And here, if you come off the wall a little bit, you can be seen from vent. So this is a very strong position if you have somebody watching B main. Because you can catch them as they fall out of heaven. You can catch them as they run out of vent or tree vent, and you can help the B main guy. But it's also very helpful for Joe. If Joe's here holding vent, you can be here, just drawing attention, delaying them as much as possible. And then as soon as they're running out of Joe, and you hear Joe spraying, then you can just swing and start spraying. To get that team fight. You're running out. Run out.
Laying down smoke.
Throw a smoke. Do a little jump. Top of the box. In the glass. Run throw. Does that. Because you were coming out here.
Grenade out.
And because I went around your sandbags. So if they see, even if they don't see somebody sandbags, it's very easy to just toss them all into it. Because there's a nice, like, most people toss them all into it even if they don't see somebody. That's why it's kind of, I don't advise it. and here, as you saw in the demo, they can see you. They can see your feet under here, if you're here. This is like your highway sometimes. As soon as you saw the smoke, you just stayed here. And you were like, oh, and you kind of like did a. But as soon as you see that smoke coming out, you can get to here. And then Big C was here. And then you can fight them both at the same angle. Right? And then the players, like Ryan, who's coming up mid, can hold the smoke walk through. And he can go up on catwalk if he needs to see over the smoke to help you guys. But getting out of this area is big for us who are rotating in. The line right there. If you see an AXU coming, you want to get inside the line as fast as possible. Within reason. That's all I got, I think. Yeah, for just swinging out mid, either like it's not a very good flash, but any kind of nade, so they have to look away. You can bounce one off of here. As you're running up from spawn, you can bank one off of here. That's actually a bad flash. I threw a bad flash. So it gets in the entryway, and anyone's holding blind. Oh yeah, squeaky. You're here. This door. See the gap in the light? This is all they can spam. Like even the tightest angle. This is all they get. So as soon as you pass this doorway, you're good. You peeked highway, good. See him catwalk. As soon as you see him catwalk, you don't want to re-peek highway. As soon as you see him catwalk, you can just commit to the fight. If you see him fork, you can kind of like, oh, does it still work? Oh, no. If he's forked, I wouldn't take the fight as much. If he's in that corner, I would. But as soon as he's anywhere behind there, I wouldn't take the fight. But if he's anywhere on the catwalk, I'd be happy to take that fight because there's nowhere he can hide. Like he can't, he's always fully exposed no matter where he is, unless he's back here. But it's just a very advantageous fight. I would never fight highway unless I had to. Helpful nades because most of the time I saw you just buying a smoke and HE, so you could smoke an HE mid. Right? But another nades that are helpful is as soon as you see that A smoke coming, because they smoke there, as soon as you see that, just throw them all here. Not like that. Just like aim at the corner of the building and throw. One moment. Oh, throwing around. Oh, they're coming up A. They smoked off A main. Oh no. Molly. Even a little deeper than that, so that it gets here. Because then they have to, and then you can run into here. And it just buys a lot more time for Apu, who's playing around site. Because what I do when I'm playing solo A is I play insight, I spot it, If they throw a bunch of nades out, I'll wait a couple seconds, then I'll molly here. And then I'll just play around this molly and buy time. Because what this molly does is, as a T, if you're coming out,
Throwing smoke.
you smoke that. The CT's molly that. It's kind of like, well, I can't really fight that. And then people try to go up and over. And this is I'd love this fight as a CT. Especially when the molly's up. It's just super easy. They're super exposed there. They're super exposed to truck. They're super exposed to highway. Like, they just have nowhere to hide. So, if you're playing A, if they start coming out A, a molly here, very useful. Yeah, and if we're down, if we're in like a 4v5, like if Ryan dies early, or if one of us dies early, and we have to go into a 2-2 split, 2 on each bomb site, like Apu playing like here is good, just holding the run out. He doesn't have to peek aim in, or he can play here. No, I changed my mind. He can't play there. He can play here, just holding the run out. And then you can play like sight, just holding this, spotting this, so that they can't run up to Z without you seeing them. And then we're on B, just doing our thing. So then as soon as Apu sees them here, you can take whatever nades you have left, throw them out, you know, buy time, throw some nades. You always have to be careful with highway, but just buy as much time as possible. Because you were playing up here that one round, right? And here it's just not. And you were here some rounds. But as soon as you're here, they can peek you from here. And that's a very hard kill to get. Even the one where they just jump up is hard. But if you're playing here, it's still like you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you're not giving your A teammate any support really. So as soon as it's like a 4v5 for them, where we have 4, just try to get into the site. I think that's all. It's gonna be a long video. Well, fish.